is there a reason why we should be doing economic development? Has economic development become something else? Is economic development dead? Hello and welcome to Dev TV. At Dev TV, we profile ideas, innovations, and individuals. Today, as I usually do, is to just talk about what's on my mind as far as economic development is concerned. And the idea I have today is about the specific things that we do in economic development. So, especially in the private sector development arm of economic development, or perhaps a market systems development side of economic development. So what do? We have the mandate to examine growth, constraints on growth. And in doing that, what we do is that we search for why a particular sector, a particular economy is not growing. And then in doing that research, we look for challenges or the root causes of why these economies are not growing. What we then do is to partner with people, private parties, private sector actors, beneficiaries, to design solutions for those root causes. And the principle behind that really is that we turn those root causes into opportunities, profitable opportunities. And the idea is that if we are able to turn those opportunities, if we are able to present those profitable opportunities to our partners, our beneficiaries, the relationship that engineers begins to create growth in the economy. So my question then is this. We come to a particular country, we come to a particular sector, we come to a particular context, and we appear to have the ability to recognize root causes and see them as potential opportunities for profitable endeavor. So, are we not giving the fish as opposed to training people? I hate the word training, as opposed to engineering resilience. So if we are able to identify root causes, if we are able to turn the root causes into value proposition, if we are able to examine all of the factors that's necessary to take this value proposition to scale and make it sustainable, isn't our job then to find a way to make sure private enterprises not only can see what we are able to see, but are able to design, because obviously they are they're much better at designing solutions than we are. And yes, we have particular expertise in some technical areas, but really private sectors who are the people we rely on, so we can move things forward, so we can create growth. So if we rely on those private sector actors, and it seemed to me that we assume that the private sector partners do not see the opportunity that we see, or perhaps there's something in their way, and we are able to design a way around it, a way through it, or a way over it. So if we're really going to do economic development, then why is it that we're not concentrating on building our beneficiaries, building the skill to be able not only to identify the root causes, but design solutions for those root causes and design scalable and profitable solutions for those root causes. Now, this presupposes, you see, that we know and they do not. And this is a root cause of my presentation today, is that the whole emphasis on economic development experts facilitating relationships suggests or presupposes that the people do not recognize that those relationships are important, can or do not have the ability to engineer those relationships to make it a bit more profitable. And it just feels slightly presumptuous. And the other question is about context. So before I move on to the context, entrepreneurs see opportunities, and those opportunities are generally challenges or things that require solution. So they go into the laboratory and work out how to really design solutions that will help resolve whatever problems it is that they have identified. So that to me is entrepreneurship. And that is not too far from what we do in economic development. The only difference appears to be the emphasis we place on us doing some aspect of that entrepreneurship. So, in my view, perhaps that's what we need to really focus our mind. That's what we need to focus our attention on. What it is that we can do to make sure that our beneficiaries are able to identify the root causes that we do, be able to turn those root causes into value proposition, and be able to resolve the issues without an external support system. I fully understand, and I'm sure a lot of you will remind me that there are things that are beyond people's beneficiaries' control. There are things that are holding them back that they are not able to do anything about. So therefore, we have to be there to help. But I fully understand that, and I accept that argument. My only point here, though, is that it seemed to me that we should focus more effort building resilience so people are able to help themselves, because that's supposed to be the fundamental reason we do economic development. We don't want to give the fish, we want to teach people how to fish. So that's one of the points I wanted to make today. The other point I wanted to make today is about the context in which we work, or when we say we design context-driven solution, right? Now, context at what level? At the individual level, at the household level, at the community level, at the regional level, at the country level, continent level. Very complex issues around context, but we tend to believe that we understand the context and we design solutions that will that we take account of those of the context. My submission then is that the context we talk about is probably too shallow. And that has panned out in the slow results that we get. I submit that we need to do a whole lot more digging when it comes to the context in which we design solutions. And my submission is that we should now begin to think of economic development as really entrepreneurship, meaning that our thrust in whatever it is that we do should be designing, building resilience infrastructure. And by that, I mean support services that will give opportunities to entrepreneurs to come up with solutions to some of the problems that we're trying to resolve. So that's my submission for this Sunday. Please, if you have any comment, suggestions, or any questions or observation, please leave them in the comment section below, so we can continue to have this conversation. Well, thank you for watching my monologue.